Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I have a new album review. The name of the band is called Zao, and the album is called The Crimson Corridor. So before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more, and I upload about one video per day. So the name of the band is called Zao. And that is actually the correct pronunciation, not Zao. You know, luckily I watched Metal Trench's review of this before planning this review, because otherwise I just would have said it wrong throughout the entire review, and I probably would have gotten a bunch of comments pointing it out. But that is the official pronunciation, called Zao. Now let's see if I can make it throughout this video without messing that up. So Zao is a metalcore band. I don't really think they have a traditional metalcore sound, in my opinion. I will talk about that later. They started in 1993, and the band became very popular amongst the Christian metal scene. Now, this band currently doesn't identify themselves as a Christian band. They've gone through many lineup changes over the years. Maybe one or two members are Christian, but there was a time when they did identify themselves as a Christian metal band. And if you are interested in listening to the band during that particular period, I would like to recommend the album from 1998 called Where Blood and Fire Bring Rest. So that was a really landmark album and one of the pioneer albums, you know, for metalcore and, you know, just for the sound in general. So I definitely recommend that one. And I would also like to recommend the album called Liberate te ex infieris, which is Latin for save yourself from hell. That line happens to be from the movie Event Horizon also, and this is an awesome album. It's very heavy, and I recommend checking out the song Savannah. That one is a real banger. So in my opinion, this band doesn't really have like a traditional metalcore sound, you know, for this album at least. You know, this album is very atmospheric. The riffs are heavy, the guitars are down-tuned, and that down-tuning creates a very thick and heavy sound. It's not that type of metalcore with those whiny vocals. The overall sound of the band is closer to the band like Gojira, and not like something like Under Oath or As LA Dying. Not really too much like those bands, but it just has that really heavy sound. The vocals are very heavy and aggressive, and you can tell they use some distortion on the vocals. It reminded me a little of Al Jorgensen from Ministry, and I really like that part about it. It really adds to the heaviness of the song. They do have a lot of tempo changes in their songs. Some of the songs are mid-paced. You know, some songs are fast, and some songs are really slow. And I'm talking like a Funeral Doom, you know, type of slow, with this very heavy atmospheric sound. At times it's reminiscent of black metal. There are a lot of heavy and light parts. You know, sometimes you hear these thick, heavy riffs. Other times you hear clean guitar parts, or even acoustic guitar. There are clean vocals at times. You know, sometimes the vocals are very dark. Sometimes they're haunting. You know, there's a lot going on with this album. I definitely recommend listening to it. Put it on your stereo, but also listen to it with headphones, just so you can take everything in, listen to all the fine parts that are going on. And, you know, as you could tell, you know, I did like this album. I enjoyed it. So let me talk about some of the key tracks. The album opens up with a song called Jaws of Dread, and it is a 4-minute instrumental. It starts off very soft, basically just an acoustic guitar strumming, and the band does kick in, but it is very slow and atmospheric, even a little haunting, but it does set the tone for the album. The next song is called RIPW. The intro to this song is very different. It has this alternative rock or grunge sound, but it still retains that same heaviness. The riffs are very thick. The vocals are very aggressive. They play around with different like time signatures. I really like that part. And the song also has a very clean breakdown. It's kind of like very like jazzy, and it reminds me of some of like the lighter parts of like an Opeth song. The next song is called Nothing's Form. They slowed it down a lot in this one. Again, it's very atmospheric. There are these like clean guitars, and on this one you can hear the bass guitar. I really like that part of this song. And this is another one of those tracks. You hear the clean vocals, but they're a little more like soft and haunting. After about 2 minutes, the song picks up, the drums kick in, the guitars get heavy, the vocals get very aggressive. This is one of the longer songs in the album. It's 7 minutes long. At about the 5.5 minute mark, it slows down again. There's another atmospheric breakdown. And just one of those songs, like I said before, just listen to it with headphones. Listen clearly. There's a lot going on in the background, and you just want to pay attention and just catch everything that's going on. The next song is called Creator Destroyer. This is a mid-paced rocker. You know, it has these like stop-start riffs, and you hear that throughout different songs on this album too. A lot of heavy distortion, and again, a lot of atmospheric breakdowns, clean guitars. You know, there's a lot going on in the background. As I said before, you just got to listen to it. And this song also has this breakdown towards the end. It has some clean vocals. And like the other one that I mentioned before, it reminds me of an Opeth song again. The final song on the album is called The Web, and this is a 10.5 minute long song. It's very complex. There's a lot of different parts. Starts off with some clean guitars. The vocals are very like subdued on this one. There's like a little bit of distortion in the vocals. You know, the song does get really heavy around the 5 minute mark, but it still retains that atmospheric quality. You know, this song reminds me of some of those like atmospheric black metal bands. The song does continue to build with very heavy and light sections like throughout the entire duration of the song. And it's a pretty cool way and great song to close out the album. So in conclusion, yeah, I enjoyed this album a lot. I think it's one of those albums that requires like multiple listens every time you want to like hear different things. You enjoy songs in ways you haven't enjoyed before every time you put it on. There's just a lot of variety going on. The songs go through many changes. There's tempo changes. There's, you know, time signature changes. Very interesting. It's very well written. And for that reason, I will give it a 9 out of 10. And I do think it is one of my favorites of the year so far. So that is it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Have you heard this band? Have you heard any of their older material? So what do you think? Let me know. Let's get a conversation going. And like I said, I will be spending the next few days doing new releases. There's a new album by Jeff Tate's new band called Sweet Oblivion. Blaze Bayley, the one-time or the 2-album vocalist of Iron Maiden, he has a new solo album out. I'll do that one late, some point this weekend. There's another band I never heard of called Lion's Daughter. I listened to it once and I liked it a lot, so I'll do a review of that one. And finally, the new Cheap Trick album I will try to get in at some point this week. So that is it. Check out the in-video links. I will be putting 2 other videos over there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.